Now, what we are learning is that Congress is to bring a black paper on Modi's government, Prime Minister Modi's government of 10 years in response to the white paper that was both mentioned during the budget day as well as by Prime Minister Modi yesterday during his address in the parliament. So this is the particular update that we are getting. This is Congress's big counter move to the white paper that was discussed about in the budget session as well as in the address. Right now, let's cut across to Pallavi Ghosh, who's joining us on this broadcast to understand more about both these papers. Pallavi, firstly, do elaborate a little on both this white paper that has been announced by Nirmala Sitharaman as well as Prime Minister Modi, as well as this counter black paper that's been announced by Congress.
So we are expecting that around afternoon post-lunch in Lok Sabha, the white paper is going to be presented by the finance minister of the government. And essentially the white paper is going to give a blow-by-blow account in the last 10 years. Rather, I would say 10 years versus 10 years. 10 years of economic mismanagement and misrule by the UPA, and also versus the 10 years of good governance, economic growth of the NDA era. Now the timing becomes very significant because the 10 years is being used as a matrix to decide on how the performance should be judged. I remember when this government first came to power, there were questions asked, why is it that you're not coming out with more details about the economic mismanagement under the UPA? The Prime Minister in an interview to us, Shriya, had told that if I do it at that point, this point of time, the investor confidence is very low. We don't want the investors to stop or shy away from investing in our country. But now, as we are on the threshold for another Lok Sabha elections, 10 years is considered to be a very good benchmark, and that's the reason why in the white paper there will be a blow-by-blow account, and some details of it we already put out since yesterday, where it's going to try and show that how there has been infrastructural development, capital expenditure has increased, how toilets, for example, money directly into accounts of women, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and you know how there are big MNCs, tech giants, all of them opening shop in India like Tesla, as iPhones are concerned. India's import bills are shrinking, our exports are increasing. We are becoming Atmanirbhar at the same time attracting investor confidence globally. This is in stark contrast, according to a white paper, on when the banking and insurance sectors had almost collapsed, our borrowings had increased, not enough funding was given to the real issues of the common man. That is a counter which is going to be now brought in by the Congress party, where they're going to come out with their own version, which is going to be called a black paper, to show that there is rising prices, inflation, how the benefits of the government schemes have not percolated down to the people it should.
Right, Pallavi. Pallavi, also, as we were speaking of Congress's counter move to this, which is the black paper, what exactly are they trying to achieve with this, and the narrative they're trying to put forward with this black paper, if you could just take us through it?
See, it's not just the Congress, the entire India front, Shreya, has been insisting on the fact that you need to look for a political alternative, because the BJP has been making tall promises which have never really, fructified or never have become a reality. Like, they keep on pointing, and the Congress's black paper is going to be a part of series of events and press conferences that they will be doing. In that, essentially what they're going to point out is rising prices, inflationary tendencies, how banks actually collapse and people are not wanting to invest, how the startups have not really taken up, how there are being massive job cuts because companies are not able to keep up, how the GST has eaten into the earnings of the corporates, of the companies. So essentially, again, we are seeing economy occupying center stage as we head for yet another general election.
Right, Pallavi. Pallavi, and also if we go into greater depths of the white paper itself at this juncture, right ahead of the Lok Sabha polls of 2024, how is the NDA planning to, further their narrative with regards to the achievements, and also compare the lives of people having been impacted while under the UPA regime and now under the NDA for the last 10 years?
So, whenever the Ram Mandir issue came up, the opposition parties would accuse the government of using religion as a diversionary tendency. I think the fact, if you look at the pattern, that the Prime Minister, even during the Pran Pratishtha and just before it, and even after that, has not gone full on and aggressive about Ram Mandir. He has actually been unleashing several development projects. So the messaging is very clear, and that messaging is going to be a part of the white paper as well, that his government believes in religious beliefs as well as astha. but development also is prime. This government is all about development, whether it's economic empowerment of women, about youth, and so on and so forth. And therefore, the development agenda is now going to occupy center stage as far as the government's white paper is concerned. They're going to try and bring back the narrative to it like they had in 2014, when the Prime Minister constantly would point out that there's multiple scams. Dr. Manmohan Singh was a weak Prime Minister. What the white paper is also going to point out, the economic policies, the foreign policies of the UPA or the Nehru-Gandhi legacy is one which was absolutely negative in nature. So the white paper is actually going to give out statistics, as I just pointed out. For example, a large number of toilets which have come up, houses are being provided to the poor below poverty line, the Ujjwala scheme, the startups, the digitization, how money is being given directly to people and encouraged to come out on their own and become more and more self-reliant.
Right, Pallavi. Pallavi, thank you for bringing us all those details with regards to what exactly the white paper and the black paper do intend on the narrative they're intending to push out with these two papers. With that, we are now slipping into a short break, but do stay tuned to CNN News 18 as we keep bringing you all the latest updates right here, shortly on the other side.